you've been hoping for something, maybe for a while now. And hope without direction or action starts to feel like waiting. And you didn't come here to wait. You also aren't here for passive feel-good messages. Today's reading is going to offer you a hopeful message and guidance on how to move through any challenge or change that you might be experiencing at this time that might be feeling a little heavy. These messages today are here to bring awareness to the energy that's currently active in your life or just beneath the surface of your awareness. If you're here for something light, passive, or purely for entertainment, this likely won't land the way you want it to. But if you're open to reflection and open to a new perspective, you're in the right place. Today we have 2 soul paths for you to choose from. The Smith is for the builder. The Cartographer is for the seeker. You can choose one or both. Timestamps are in the description. And with that, let's get into your messages. For my builders out there, your hope is tied to something you're actively creating. So there's something about you taking action. I feel you might be a very ambitious person, but you are creating something. You are building something based on something that you've been inspired by. But there might be a lot of overthinking going on. There might be some delays in progress. There might be even a lack of motivation or a waning in motivation because something may not be working out as quickly as you would like. So in spite of your taking action, the results haven't quite paid off yet, is the feeling that I'm getting. But you could also be starting something from scratch as well, and you're building towards something, and that process might be feeling really heavy at this time. So let's look at your other oracle cards, and then we'll get into your tarot. We have struggle. So this is, again, pushing something up a hill, and it feels really exhaustive and tiresome and heavy. And it almost feels like you're doing this all alone. This could be an old identity as well that you're trying to uphold, or maybe it's just something that you're trying to move. So there's a big block that you're trying to move away from or move out of the way. But there's an ascension process here. So you're wanting to ascend, but maybe something within your identity, within your belief system, or within the process is blocking your way. So 2 more. We have the Papa, celebration and fruits of labor. So that kind of goes back to that message earlier about feeling like you want to see the fruits of your labor. So there could be an impatience. There could be a challenge or a struggle in getting those fruits of your labor. And also I feel you want to celebrate something too. And then we have the strawberries, which is fertility and youth. So there's a lot of joyfulness that I get with this. Summer could be relevant. So we are currently in April as I'm recording this reading. And look at that, 38 and 39. So there is some progress here. It may not be as quick as you'd like, but I feel that there is small progress. You might be needing to just look in the right direction. So that might be somewhere to start is where are you feeling like you are progressing? Where are the small wins that you can celebrate? And when we talk about fertility, in this context of building something, I feel like this ground that you're moving through or what you're moving through is creating fertility. It could be through lessons. It could be through an assessment of something at this time that is going to help you create more fertile ground for something to grow. So if this process is slow, I want you to reframe this experience as an opportunity to refine, reframe, review, especially if you feel like something is a struggle here. And where might you be putting too much thinking or thought into something that might not require that much thinking at this time? So where can you place your energy or your actions in a different area at this time, or simplify your actions in some way? So let's take a peek at your tarot cards now. And let's see how this plays out in the tarot. So let's see, what is this hope pointing towards? Thank you. The Three of Twigs, which is the Three of Swords in the traditional tarot. I like that it came out in reverse. So there's something that could be happening in this process. It could have something to do with healing or getting over some kind of... Okay. I'll wait till the cards are on the table before I share that message, because I feel there's going to be other cards that are going to support this. What to trust next? Okay, yeah. Definitely supportive here. And the Justice at the bottom of the deck. Okay. So let me just quickly rearrange these so we have everything out on the table and you can see everything. Okay, so in the position of what hope is pointing towards, again, we have the Three of Twigs, which is the Three of Swords. It is in reverse, and this is a new deck, and I don't have this deck in reversed order at this time, because I don't feel the need to read reversals in this deck for some reason. Don't know why. But this one actually wanted to come out reverse, and I like that it is, because it feels like a time of difficulty is slowly coming to an end, and through that painful process comes some kind of new understanding where once you see something for what it is, once you see the truth of something, you can't ever go back because your mind has expanded beyond its original perception. So the hope is pointing towards growth. And growth in how you're seeing something, growth in how you're perceiving something, learning something. Again, learning something new in this process may be a way to reframe what you're moving through. And the Nine of Shrooms here is what is distorting or delaying clarity. Now, this is the Nine of Wands, and this is pushing forward, continuing to move forward in spite of the struggle. I feel that could be a very wonderful thing to keep you moving. There's a persistence here, and we love that, especially when we are seeing progress, especially when we're building something. There is a pride involved in that, like I can overcome anything. There's an empowerment with that, but in the wrong context at the incorrect time, it can be trying to force outcomes and results that aren't ready to happen yet or aren't available to you at this time. And trying to push and force may have you running in circles right now. So you're not seeing that progress and you feel like you keep coming back to the starting point. So there could be this frustration, but also this desire to keep going. Like if I just pushed forward, if I just kept going, if I did just a little bit more, I could see some kind of result, or I could complete something. And so there might be a little bit of exhaustion or burnout creeping in at this time, and you may feel the desire or need to keep pushing or forging ahead. It's almost as if you can feel the success, taste the success. It's like it's just around the corner. That may be, but be very wary about how much and how far you push yourself in this space. And as I mentioned, this could be about maybe not necessarily pushing through that at this time. And coming back to the struggle card, that almost feels very similar in energy, where there's this pushing forward So really evaluate whether it's necessary at this time, because that the success and the goals that you're looking to achieve will always be there regardless of when you finally get to that destination point. So is it necessary for you to push and force? And it may work against you at this time. So what to trust next? We have the Seven of Pentacles, which is the Seven of Bugs in this tarot deck. And we talked about this at the very beginning where we spoke to wanting to see those fruits of your labor and maybe not getting to that point quite yet, putting in a lot of work but not seeing those results, and using this, maybe the delay or maybe this moment in your builder on your builder path, to use this as a moment to slow down and evaluate or review something. Again, that reframing, because there's something here that may need to be weeded out. There may be something here that you don't want to have in your garden. So again, there's a lot of energy being expended somewhere at this time, and it either may not be working in the way that you would like, or it might not be the right thing to invest your time, energy, or money in at this time. So review those things, review your finances, review what you're investing in, and that could be time, that could be finances, or that could be energetically as well. And see if those things are either bearing fruit, are aligned to your mission, purpose, and or goals right now, or if they are unnecessary to moving the needle or moving you forward in some way. So again, I'm getting simplification energy from that, where we're taking away the things that are either draining your energy or are not useful in this moment. Now, Justice at the bottom of the deck tells me that this is a moment of rebalancing. So that's wonderful that you are building and you are ambitious, and we love that about you. But take care of yourself in this process, and don't forget to slow down, to look around, to really review the landscape, see where you are, see what's around you, what can you smell, what can you feel, what can you see, and how many paths are in front of you that you are currently exploring. Maybe there's one that's calling you a little bit more than the other. So it's really focusing and refining things right now. And this is the beauty in this challenge or this change that you're moving through in this builder journey, is the hope is in the process. The hope is in these moments of pause and reflection and a rebalancing of that energy that may have been expended and utilized so much up to this point, and asking yourself, do I really need to be pushing this hard right now? Or can I really look at things either in a new way and look at all of those small wins, see that I am making progress, celebrating those things and how far I've come, and taking a moment to even enjoy what you have created so far, enjoying maybe even something outside of that creation. So it's kind of getting out of that energy for a while. And I say that because the strawberries here, this feels like a joyful moment in the summer where you're harvesting and you're taking a bite out of these beautiful fruits, and just that moment of pleasure, that moment of joy outside of the labor of growing the fruit. And that is where you're going to find a little more hope in the pause, but also hope in the success that you have already created for yourself. So that is today's reflection, my dear Soul Path 1. Share in the comments if this reading resonated. I'd love to hear where you're at on your builder journey. Subscribe if you'd like to continue exploring these messages with me, and join me over on my Patreon page for more content like this. And with that, I'll see you in your next reading. Soul Path 2, you are a seeker, possibly at a crossroads, and your hope is tied to searching for something, seeking answers, seeking clarity, seeking assurance and the way forward. And you know something needs to shift, but you aren't quite sure what needs to shift yet. So let's just see what the cards have to share with you today about your hopeful message. So this is your card, the Cartographer. Crossroads exploration, that's seeking energy. You're trying to map your path, trying to make sense of something, understand something here, find your way, align to your North Star. Create. So this could be a creation of identity where you are trying to figure out who you are at the core. Maybe you're trying to figure out your purpose and what you would like to do out in the world. Or maybe you're crafting or creating something, trying to find your style and your way of expression. But there's something here where you might be trying to, this feels like a soul seeker energy, like you're trying to find something that clicks, that feels correct. And we'll get into your tarot after I share all of the oracle cards here. And we have Periwinkle, Veneration, and Legacy. And that's number 11. That is the Justice card. So maybe you're thinking about what you want to leave behind, what you want to create in this world, maybe to help others so that something can live on beyond you. And then Sugar Maple, number 32, information and knowledge. So again, we have more seeker knowledge coming through. And these little things, when they fall, they're like little helicopters. They're quite fun. So yeah, it's like you're trying to ground the energy. You're trying to understand something. Maybe you're trying to learn a new skill or understand what skill to learn. Let's get into your tarot reading now. Oh, and I mentioned helicopter, so there's something about a higher purpose, but also a higher perspective. And maybe that's the knowledge or the information that you're seeking at this time. And so here we go. Let's get into your tarot now. What hope is... Okay, we have the Death card. What hope is pointing towards is the Death card. Something ending, something beginning. You could be in this liminal space, but also something is transforming in a new way. Four of Bugs, which is the Four of Pentacles in the position of what is distorting or delaying clarity. I was going to say disturbing, so you might feel a little disturbed, or maybe your foundations are feeling a little disturbed. What to trust next is the Empress. I love that. This is growth. This is expansion. And then the Two of Wands at the bottom of the deck, what you don't see. So I do feel like a choice is at hand here. And I feel like the choice has something to do with your future. And you're maybe trying to figure out what choice is best for my future here. Because in the position of what hope is pointing towards, this is about something pretty significant ending in your life, and this could be multiple things. I feel like you've seen this coming for a really long time, so it's probably not going to be a surprise for you. Now, the hope isn't in the ending. It isn't in the death or the letting go or the transformation. It is in the new. It is in the rebirth. It is in maybe the emotional depth that is happening in this space as well, where you are deepening your understanding, your wisdom, your knowledge, maybe connection to self as well. But what I love about this card is also the lily that is, the lily that is here on the left-hand side. And lilies grow through mud. While they get planted and seeded in mud in the depths and darkness of the water, and they move up towards the light and eventually bloom. So there is a blooming that will eventually occur. And so while this moment may feel like you are being buried or you're in the dark or you're unsure, this is the fertile soil for something to bloom, something new to bloom. And that is part of the hope in this. So what is distorting or delaying clarity is the Four of Bugs. This is a very slow process, and the death in itself is a very slow decay of something. And what's distorting or delaying clarity is this rigidness or this fixed way of seeing this experience of I can't move, I don't want to move, I'm comfortable here, wherever here may be. And this is being firmly rooted in where you are, which could be a great thing because that could give you some groundedness and some stability while you move through this. But because it's in the position of what's distorting or delaying clarity, it's because there is this sense of immovability, of maybe not wanting to move forward, maybe not wanting to unearth something or to change the way something is. And that could be internal, that could be external, that could be metaphoric. But there is a fixed energy about this Four of Pentacles where it's like, I don't want to let go. I want to hang on. I want to hang on. But this thing that you might be moving through may no longer be able to support your growth, may no longer be able to support your future in some way. So there is an essence of letting go so that you can open up to the new thing. So just be mindful of how fixed you might be on an outcome, on a result of whether or not you move or take action with something, and whether there is this finite way of being, looking at something, doing something, perceiving something, and seeing where you might find a little bit more flexibility there to make this process just a little bit easier. So in the position of what to trust next, we have the Empress card, and the Empress. She is a divine feminine energy. Divine feminine is very passive, but this is also about growth, abundance, and creation. Something is being gestated here. So what to trust next is to know that something is happening in this space, regardless of whether you can see results, regardless of whether you can see the path. This might even also be a moment to align to what you truly value and feel is important to you, because the Empress is associated with Venus, and Venus is associated with Taurus. That's an energy of love and affection, but also pleasures and values. The Pentacles is also associated with those earthly things as well, the things that we deem to be important and valuable. And so while you might be holding on to them here, trying to understand that those values don't necessarily exist in physical form. They are a part of you in how you live your lifestyle, in how you express yourself, in how you love yourself, especially through challenge, change, letting go, transformation. So this mothering aspect is really coming through here strongly for you. Really give yourself some compassion in this space to gain some knowledge on what you are creating for yourself in this space where there is not a lot formed at this time. You could be still working with this small pile of clay here where you have the materials, but you don't quite see what it's going to become yet. Allow that to be okay. Allow this moment to be an exploration of what could be. And the Two of Shrooms at the bottom of the deck here. This is the Two of Wands. So this is looking towards your future. What is it that you would like to create? This is very future forward thinking. So it's not thinking about what's happening and what do I have to hang on to because everything's out of my control. I need to hang on to the things, the people, whatever it might be to feel secure and safe and stable. What are those things that you can start seeding now that will maybe bear fruit in the future? What is it that you would like to move towards and create and craft in the future, rather than trying to hang on to the past or even partly the present? How can you think about your future expansion, your future vision, your future ambition? And how can you start planting those seeds right now in this space? Allowing yourself and giving yourself permission to explore outside of your comfort zones. Give yourself a little wiggle room, try something new, do something different. So that is today's reflection, my lovely Soul Path 2. Let me know in the comments if this was resonating and was helpful and hopeful for you. Subscribe if you'd like to continue exploring these messages with me, and join my inner circle by clicking on the link in the description. And with that, I will see you in your next reading.